The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, here we are once again, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. And here we are once again. We're gathered around the breakfast table, the water cooler, or wherever you congregate. You may be at work as well. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and we're going to be with you for a whole hour. We're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. But you know something? It doesn't stop there because this show goes all over the world. It's global, and no matter where you are, you can find us as long as you're in a great area where there's a lot of Wi-Fi, hotspot. You can catch us. And that's why we want you to tell your family and friends, get them on board as well, because it's all for you. And we're going to take you through this whole hour. And in this hour, we're going to contain a lot of conversation and any kind of thing that you want to talk about. It's all right here. And all you have to do is use your keyboard on your computer, be it laptop, desktop, your tablet, or even a telephone. The keyboard is right there. You can type in whatever you want to talk about. I will see right there on that big screen. And of course, I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. And of course, we'll make sure that we get that conversation involved with everyone because if it's important to you, it's important to all of us. So let's get ready, get down with the show right now, and let's get going. First of all, I want to say hello to all of my friends who've been with us all of these years. We thank you so much for being along with us. But I want to take time right now to talk to people who are possibly new to this show. So we want to let you know how this show operates. Now, I, as a host of the show, get things rolling. And as I do that, as I already said, you could chime in at any time on your keyboard, on your computer or cell phone or whatever device that you may use to communicate with us or to watch us. And if you have anything in particular that you may want to talk about, I don't care what it is. The subject is open to everyone. And whatever you have to say, just type it in and we'll entertain that thought and idea, even if it's just to say hello, because we're going to acknowledge you. Now, I want to make sure that everyone who is watching understands something, that everyone don't want to indulge in conversation. I get that. I understand that, especially if you're new. You want to kind of feel things out and see how the show operates, and then maybe later on, somewhere down the road, if not today, some other time, you'll get a chance to conversate with us. I see everyone when they come in, but you know what? The only time I say anything to anyone is when they say something first, because I like to respect the privacy of everyone. And some people may be nervous about even conversating, and I understand that. So that's why we try to make it easy for all of you guys. All right. Before we say anything to you, you have to say something to us, and then we'll jump in conversation. So I hope that works for you. Okay. For the rest of you guys, you know what to do. You've been here before, so you know the protocol and all of the things that go along with it. Now, for all of you new people, we want to let you know that we're on two different platforms, right? Of course, simultaneously, but two different platforms. We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook as well. And so that's why we want you to tell your family and friends about it. And here's a way you can do that. And I do this all the time. I do this every time we come on the air, just in case you're new. What we want you to do is cut and paste the platform that you're watching us on now. What I mean by that is cut and paste of the link that you're on. Now, if you're on Facebook, you cut and paste that link. If you're on YouTube, you cut and paste that link. Now, Facebook people call it tagging. That's the language in Facebook. But whatever it is, however you want to use it, just cut and paste that, and then you could send it to as many friends as you want and as many as possible. We would love to see that because this way, if they like what they see and they like what they hear, they'll come back aboard again and again. We want to share this show with everyone, even your family and relatives. So do that right now. Cut and paste that and send it out as to many friends as possible. We got a pretty good show for you, ladies and gentlemen, and in communicating with all of you guys, we also have our personal thing that we do here with the show. In other words, we kick it off with sports. Now, sports is going to come on in this particular half hour of the hour of the show, not too far away from now, because Brian Camp is our sports guy, and he's coming along as he always do with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update, and that's coming along pretty soon. And he has all of the detailed sports. And by the way, if you have any sports related questions for Brian, get them ready because he's willing to answer them. If he has all the answers for you, he'll answer them, and if he doesn't have it, he'll get the answers. He finds a way to get the answers, and then he'll deliver them to you. But in the meantime, get them ready. He'll be here, and if you're watching us on Facebook, you'll get a chance to see him on camera. He'll be right here on the screen. You'll see him there. Uh, did I say Facebook? I meant YouTube. You'll see him on YouTube. You won't see him on Facebook because on Facebook we're not ready to. Well, we're not. It's a difficult situation to tell about because I remember a long time ago, Facebook used to be able to give us a split screen and we could talk to guests, and they could still do it. They could still do it. The only difference is that for some reason when you do that, you don't get to see all the faces. The faces are in a close up, so close up you can't even see the eyes, sometimes the nose or whatever. But you'll be able to hear everything he says, though, so you could still talk to him as well, and he'll hear what you have to say and he'll answer all of your questions. But for those of you who would like to see him and like to meet him, you could see him right there on YouTube. So now, no matter where you are, it's good. YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, it's right there. And speaking of YouTube, we want you to go onto our YouTube channel if you're on Facebook, but do it at the end of the show. Go to our Facebook channel and subscribe to it. Now, before you get up in arms about it, you don't have to spend any money because with the economy the way it is, who wants to spend a little more extra than they have to, right? So everything is free. The subscription is free. The only thing that you have to do is go there to the Facebook, the YouTube channel, and click on, there's a border there that says subscribe. It's a black border in white print, and it says subscribe. And all you have to do is just click onto it, and that's it. That's the end of it. No charge, no nothing. We won't send you a letter about you owe us this. No, it's nothing like that. It's free. Subscriptions on YouTube for everyone that does YouTube podcast or whatever. It's all free. It's nothing. Unless, of course, they charge you some kind of premium charge for their particular show. But we don't even do that. So all we ask you to do is just click onto that. And the reason why we want you to do that, because we want to see how many people are actually following us and the people who are members with us. And we keep up with all of that. And the other reason is now that you have done that, did you do it? Okay. Now that you have clicked on, from here on in, whenever the show comes on the air live and you happen to forget about it, let's say next week, you'll get an instant notification that will pop right up. And all you have to do is click onto that instant notification and say, it's right there. Now, sometimes when we're not on the air and you happen to be online and you get a pop-up, there's some kind of activity going on. And it could be something that we posted a still shot, or maybe we posted I don't know, a video or something. Nevertheless, anytime you see a pop-up, there's an activity going on my YouTube channel. So we want you to do that. Just, do that. It's great. And we really would appreciate that. It helps us out a lot around here. Okay, we've got a lot of things going on. The first thing, I want to say hello to Warren Dancers out there. Warren is with us today out of Greensboro, North Carolina. He's watching us on Facebook today. And Warren, right on the ball. He's got 55 degrees right now. It's 55 degrees where he is in Greensboro, North Carolina, and it's mostly cloudy, but they'll have a high of 63 degrees. So there you go. And for the rest of you, you can do the same thing Warren is doing. That's what we're going to ask you to do because, hey, listen, if you know that every one of us have different weather forecasts. Warren is in North Carolina. I'm in New York City. You could be someplace else. We all have different weather forecasts. And the reason why we want you to do that, it's not something that's mandatory. We just ask you to do that if you decide to engage in conversation, give us your weather forecast. It doesn't have to be full blown. It can be just like what Warren did. 55, something simple. 55 degrees, cloudy, the high 63. Or you could send us some kind of rainy emoji. Warren send us emoji along with his little text. It's a cloudy with a peak of sun there. Emoji, rainy emoji, cloudy emoji, sunny emoji. We'll get the idea. Just give us something just simple that we can kind of understand and we'll know. We just like to compare notes. That's how we do it. Okay, remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinions of the people of Facebook, um, or YouTube or any other form of social media outlet or broadcast facility. So that being said, here we go. Let's raise our cups because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So, excuse me while I shoot up. I was doing orally. That's how I take my coffee orally. I don't know how you take yours, but whatever it is, it could be coffee, could be tea, could be milk, could be orange juice, whatever beverage that you are using with us. We hope that you enjoy it with us. Everyone doesn't like coffee. Everyone doesn't like tea. Just a little bit, just here and there, right? Hello to all of you who are coming in. And we want to say hello to Mary Reed, who is watching us on Facebook today. Good morning, Mary. I'm doing fine. And Mary already had her coffee. She had her coffee already. So she's ahead of all of us. I'm just getting started. So there you go. Happy Friday to each and every one of you out there. I want to let you guys know that we have all of the flu shots are in now. Now, I mention this only because I just want to mention it to the time when maybe in a couple of weeks from now we don't have to mention it anymore. But the fluenza, as they call it, right? The flu shots are currently here, right? Now, the flu season is not on its way. The flu season is in full effect right now. The weather is colder, everybody's getting colds, and you want to prevent all of that. So the flu shot's out right now. If you haven't taken yours yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is the time to do it. You can go to your pharmacist right now and get the flu shot. Some places like New York, we have the option of doing both, walking right in or either taking the time to go on their website and make the appointment to take the shot, whatever is convenient for you. Some people are in an area where they only have one option, is to go online and make the appointment. It's better than nothing. Make the appointment. If that's what you have to do it today. Don't do it tomorrow. Do it today. All right, get it out of the way. I'm pretty sure the majority of the people who usually take the annual flu shots and COVID shots have done it already. Some are procrastinating, and if you're one of them, I'm going to push you into it. I want to push you into to make sure that you do it. Along with the flu shots, you have the updated COVID-19 shots are available as well. And by the way, you could take both at the same time. One in one arm, one in the other arm. You can do that and it'll be over and done. Okay. And so it's all available. Now, if you're like me, you may want to take it one time, take one time, and then the other maybe a week or two after that. It depends on you. It depends on how you, but by golly, get it done. Get it done. After the show, go out, put on your coat, go to your pharmacist, and make the appointment. I hope in a lot of cases that you just can go right in there and do it today with no problem. I hope that's the case for you. But by golly, go out there and do it. Now, for those of you who wish not to do it and you feel that it's not for you, that's okay too. That's your personal choice, but please stay out of the business of the people who would like to do it. Don't try to stare them and tell them any false accusations about that you can turn into a zombie or it doesn't work or you can get sick very easily or you could die. I never heard of a person dying from a flu shot. Maybe some kind of physical thing that goes on. Maybe uh, they get sick. Maybe they're allergic to the shots and they don't take it or whatever it is. But I never heard anyone dying from it or turning into a zombie. Stay out of it. Let them do their thing. You do your thing. Right. But it is available to each and every one of you. Okay. Here we are in November and it's the 14th of November. You know what? Can you believe it? We're halfway down the road of November. We're halfway down the line. And in about less than 2 weeks, we've got Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving Day is coming along, and everybody is going to be traveling. And a lot of people want to go see their loved ones. And I'm sure you're looking forward to that. But this month, all of this month, we're celebrating Native American Heritage Month. Okay. That's something that I'm proud of. I have the Native American blood in me due to my great grandmother, who I've never met. She died maybe a couple of months before I was born, but she was full blown Native American. Proud of her. I wish I had met her. My mom used to tell me great stories about her. How what a great person she was, who cared about people. She was kind of tough, but she cared about people, and she was very religious and she loved her family. And pictures I've seen of her, she's a beautiful woman. I wish I had met her, but she's full blown Cherokee. She was from the tribe of Cherokee. And keep in mind that as we celebrate National Native American Heritage Month, keep in mind that these are the people who settled in this country first. The rest of us came from someplace else. We all came from someplace. Everyone came from someplace. These are the original settlers of the country. I've got to say that, got to make mark. They were run out of the country, taken out, just like people were kidnapped, the slaves kidnapped from their native land into America. But we're here now. We're here now. But those were the original settlers. And so that's what we're celebrating. We're also taking time to salute our soldiers. Now, I want to wish all of you guys, if I didn't do it, I did it last night on Talkback Live, but I want to wish you a belated Happy Veterans Day, which we celebrated Monday, or was it Tuesday? One of those days. We celebrated. So happy Veterans Day. But all month long, it's going to be Military Family Month. So all of you people who are military people, you have loved ones, friends who are military. Maybe your mom was military, your dad was military, your nieces, your nephews, they're all military. It's Military Family Month, so that's what we salute. And we salute all of our soldiers, men, women, who fought and are still fighting to keep the freedom and keep everyone alive and well. And we depend on you. We continue to depend on you. If no one tells you this, I'm telling you. National Diabetes Month. That's what we're also acknowledging too as well. And of course, if you have diabetes or you know someone who does, you may want to go out on your own personal crusade and tell people, your experience on diabetes and how you maybe not overcome it, but how you are dealing with it. Whether you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, you want to stay healthy. Always see your doctors to make sure that your blood sugar is at a minimum. All right, so we don't have to go through a lot of things. It's also National Alzheimer's Disease Month. We want to focus on that as well. You may have loved ones who are suffering from Alzheimer's disease, which is a devastating disease. And you may be one of the ones that want to go on a crusade and speak for people who can't speak for themselves about it. Okay, so there we have all of that going on. And so there you go. If you like cheeseburgers, you always like cheeseburgers with fries and things like that with pickles, right? It's National Pickle Day. So there are a lot of places that are open and that sells them. So if you want to do that, cheeseburgers or hamburgers or whatever it is, or a side of pickles with your favorite hero sandwiches. That's what we have going on today. Thank you so much for being along with us right here on the coffee hour. We're going to be here for the rest of the hour. We thank you so much for being along with us. Thank you, Mary. She finally got on Facebook today. It doesn't matter where you watch us, it's just as long as you're there. We don't care if you're Facebook or YouTube, but make sure that still that you go on my YouTube channel and subscribe to it because that's very important to us. Okay, again, I always ask you guys for the weather forecast. If you're going to indulge in conversation, Mary, you don't have to worry about it. But the rest of you, if you're outside of the country, outside another nation, part of the nation, another city or something, give us your weather forecast. For you people in New York City, I'm going to take care of that right now because what we have currently in New York City, the temperatures, they're a little chilly. They're a little chilly, but it's to be expected. It's to be expected for this time of year. And so what we have currently, our temperature currently, we have 64 degrees. Can you believe that? 64. That's Warren's high for the day. That's what we have presently. So we're taking good care of that. So let me run down to you what we have this weekend. They originally they talked about rain, but what I can see right now, I don't think we have anything unless it changed in the past couple of minutes while I was talking. Right now, what we have it's going to be partly cloudy early, followed by cloudy skies overnight. And that's tonight's weather forecast. I'm talking about today, what we have right now. Let's see what we have right now. Okay, let's see what we have right now. Yeah, so we had a current temperature, all right, of what's happening today. All right, I don't know. We lost that somewhere along the way, but tonight's it's going to be partly cloudy early. And it's going to be followed by cloudy skies overnight. We'll have a low 51 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. They clipped off today's forecast. I had it earlier. They clipped it off. I don't know. Maybe I have to refresh something. Let me try that. Let me do a little refreshing here and see what we got. It didn't work. Moving on. Saturday, tomorrow, my favorite day of the week. It's going to be cloudy early, becoming mostly sunny in the afternoon. We'll have a high 69 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. So far, we don't have any rain in the forecast. That's good news right now. And a few clouds for tonight. For tomorrow night, we'll have a low 53. Winds will be light and variable. And Sunday, the day of rest, that's the Sabbath. And so is Sunday and Saturday, both the Sabbath. But Sunday, if you're staying home or you're going to church, you don't need the umbrella. It's going to be more clouds than sun, and we'll have a high around 71 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. And currently we have 64 degrees. Can't understand what happened to today's forecast. Just had it. I don't know. But we'll look forward to it. But in the meantime, while we're looking forward to that, let's see what's happening in Charlotte because Brian Camp is here with us with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And let me repeat once again, if you have any sports questions for Brian, he's here right now and he's going to deliver them to you. And you look like you're a little bundled up there. Is it cold out there where you are?
Oh no. I'm just relaxing. That's all.
Oh,
I'm just relaxing. You
oh,
know.
oh yeah.
It's the weather's beautiful. It's well, since you asked about if I'm bundled up, it is right now presently 56 degrees, going up to 66 degrees. So
Okay.
we got some great weather. Just had to make some movement arrangement, had to get comfortable and everything. So but I can always keep a jacket on, I gotta keep a jacket on,
Yeah,
just just for myself and everything.
we got 64 right now.
Okay.
Warren and I guess you can see, well, you can't see because you're on mobile, but Warren, his high for today will be 64, and we already have 64 here in New York. I
Okay,
don't,
well,
I don't
I
know.
you
I'm
know
enjoying
I mean, if you enjoy it, I mean, we used to call this Indian summer at one point, right?
That's the
Yeah, so this is, and actually this is dangerous times too. It's dangerous weather because a lot of people get sick off of this weather because of the change of the climate.
that's right.
Here it is at nighttime here in Charlotte. At least I do. I sleep with a hoodie, some pajamas, thick pajamas, and some socks. You
Really?
know, yeah, it could get cold. It could get cold, and I'm a person that believe in, still do, of putting a fan on even in the wintertime because it would, it'd be so warm and hot. But you know, don't want to pay that electric bill, and you don't want to get it too high and everything. But yeah, so it could be
Wouldn't it be nice?
comfortable and I'm thinking.
Wouldn't it be nice
Mhm.
if everything was free? Electric bills, rent, mortgages, free. I,
Yeah, yeah.
let me
Free of
wake up.
everything.
I'm
Yeah,
waking. I was in a daze for a minute. I'm back. That's not going to
it's
happen.
okay. Reality kicked in. I totally understand. Yes, yes. But yeah, good morning, Warren. Good morning, Mary. Hope everybody else is doing well. Anybody that's tuning in that I may not see you around the global, or good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Like I said, coming here from the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, where it is presently 56 degrees, going up to 66 degrees. And, to others who have warm weather, I applaud you too, but, it is what it is. It's Mother Nature. But let me get to sports. The football, the New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft welcomed Rob Gronkowski. Remember him? Gronk. He's the one who was part of winning those Super Bowls during the Tom Brady era. Came back to Gillette Stadium to sign a ceremony one-day contract to retire as a member of the New England Patriots. He did this because he want to retire as a Patriot. He don't want to retire um, for like another team. So when he goes into the Hall of Fame, he could say, "I retire with my favorite team, and that's the New England Patriots." As you know, athletes as they get older, they go to different teams. But he chose that he want to come back home. Sad news in the NBA, the National Basketball Association led to one legend and one potential superstar who could have been in the Hall of Fame. Lenny Wilkins transitioned to it at his home in Seattle, where he was a former Seattle Supersonic star who won an NBA title there in 1979. Wilkins also impact on the Seattle community as is memorized memorialized, I should say, with a statue outside of Climate Pledge Arena and a street named after him. Imagine having a street named after you. That means you was very important and you impact your your teammates and in that era. Now he's a Brooklyn native from he went to Boys High School. A lot of legendary people went to Boys High School in Brooklyn. He was celebrated with a moment of silence during NBA games last Sunday. He was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame three times. Once as a player in 1989, one as a coach in 1998, and he was part of the Olympics 1992 Dream Team in 2010. So our condolences to him. Four-time NBA All-Star Michael Ray Richardson, who was banned from the league for drug use, transitioned also early this week from prostate cancer in Lawton, Oklahoma, at the age of 70. Now, check this out. He is considered the greatest NBA player that has never been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yes, he was that good. He was that special. But as you know, he fell short. Sometimes, we don't knock people for having their shortcomings. Um, drug addiction is real. Um, so he had battled with it. He was banned a couple of times. Now his nickname was Sugar. He was an 8-year NBA career with the Knicks, the New Jersey Nets, and the Golden State Warriors. He won the 1985 Comeback of the Year award. So our prayers and condolences go to his family as well during this here time. He was one of the best, but not in the Hall of Fame. Major League Baseball, Cleveland, here we go again. Stop gambling. Stop gambling. Cleveland Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz appeared in federal court on charges of accusing him of teammate Emmanuel Clace of taking bribes to help associates in their native Dominican Republic win prop bets placed on pitches they threw. I never knew you could bet on pitches who threw. How many? I don't know. Now, the U.S. Uh, magistrate judge Donald Cabell in Boston granted Ortiz his release with several conditions, including that he surrender his passport, can't leave the country, got to stay here, restrict his travel to the Northeast and post $500,000, and $5,000 of it was secure. So, and he pleaded not guilty. So we will find out again with more of these allegations. Don't bet. If you know it's okay. Again, let me say this here, like I said last night. You got to understand something, and I got to stop being harsh. I'm being real now. Allow me to understand this here. This is not coming from my mouth, but this here comes from people who been in this here business of betting, illegal betting, taking bribes. We don't know what kind of organizations. I'm not saying no ethnic group of organized crime. I'm not saying, because in organized crime they come in different ethnic groups. We don't know what kind of power that they hold over these athletes. Maybe they owe a lot of money to these organized crime families. Maybe they did something that they wasn't supposed to do. Maybe they owe money. Maybe they owe something, or just can't pay it back. Maybe they got a gun to their head. So I'm not going to judge people for keep on gambling on things that they're not supposed to bet. Sometimes they're forced to bet in order to stay alive, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. If you mean, if you want to stay alive, this is what may happen. I'm not saying this is happening, but this happens. So, but in the meantime, if you don't get caught up in that situation, you will not be put in that situation. This day in sports, November 14th, 1957, the Milwaukee Brave, Hank Aaron wins the National League MVP award. 1973, Jim Palmer, Baltimore Oriole great, is named American League Cy Young Award winner. 1981, Wilfredo Benitez and Carlos Santos is the first championship bout between two native Puerto Ricans. History was made. That's right, 1981. 1993, Don Shula becomes the coach with the most wins in NFL history, which he still holds. 2018, Jacob DeGrom, New York Mets wins the Cy Young Award winner. His 10 wins is the least ever, the lowest to ever win a Cy Young Award winner, but he did have an ERA of under 2 runs per game. Birthdays on this date: 1954, Willie Hernandez, Major League Baseball reliever, World Series champion, American League MVP, and Cy Young Award winner, was born in Aguada, Puerto Rico. 1955, Jack Sikma, NBA center for the Seattle Supersonics and the Milwaukee Bucks, was born in Kakakiki, Illinois. Excuse me if I say that wrong. And in 1966, happy birthday to Kurt Schilling, Major League Baseball pitcher, two-time World Series champion for the Phillies, Red Sox, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, were born in Anchorage, Arkansas. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports.
Well, well, the reason why it took me so long because I was still lingering on the thought of the players with this gambling thing going. Do you realize this is the third week in a row where you did some kind of reporting on gambling in sports?
Yeah.
Three
Listen,
weeks.
listen, gambling is real. Okay. I used to work around a lot of coworkers who was connected. That's all I'll just say, connected. If you don't know what that means by connected by now, then shame on you. But they were connected in ways where, you know, you want to stay away from them because you don't want to be placed in the wrong place at the wrong time. And some of them were in large. When I say in large, they owe a lot of money to people that's dangerous. And gambling is addiction. You know what? I'll go as far to say is addiction. It's a severe addiction as being on drugs.
Yeah.
Because with gambling, you could gamble your house away. You could gamble a lot of personal stuff. So it's really serious. And I don't take it lightly anymore. I'm pretty sure we all place a bet. I placed a bet, yes. But I don't go to extreme you know, to go that far. You got people in high authorities in OTB, off track betting, racing horses, games being fixed, and things like that. So it's serious.
Yeah. There are certain places where gambling is legal. And one of the places come to mind is Atlantic City and Las Vegas. And people who live there, some people who actually live in these places live there for the gambling, and which is a dangerous thing. That's a dangerous thing. They live there for the gambling. Brian just popped off. I don't know what happened to him, but they live there, uh, and they can gamble anytime they want, especially in Las Vegas. Especially in Las Vegas. They can go anywhere 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The hotels are there, and they could just walk right into it, and they live there. I had a friend of mine knew that I made frequent trips to Vegas, and he said, "Oh, I'm going to go to Vegas." He said, let's take a trip out there," but I refused to go with him because I knew he had a problem. I had a gambling problem, and I wouldn't have made a good friend if I just say, "Hey, why not? Let's go gamble your money away." That wouldn't have been nice. But it's a problem. It's a big problem. And those of you who still gamble, and you can do, and some people do it moderately, some do it for fun. I remember one time in Vegas. I'm not a gambler. I mean, I guess when I was a kid, I used to roll dice as a kid, but that wasn't like what you call hard gambling. But uh, some people have control of themselves. I remember when I used to go to Vegas, and I go every once in a while, but there was times when I knew I wanted to throw some money in the slot machine. I would take a certain amount of money, put it in my pocket, and say, "This is for gambling only." And once that kind of money exhausted, the gambling was over for me. So I was very disciplined about that, because I wasn't really a gambler anyway. But I used to love the idea of just throwing money in the slot machines and hearing that money just bounce out on the trays, which that doesn't happen anymore. That took the fun out of gambling. But I remember one time I won, like, see, I think some 80 something dollars in the slot machine, and it just kept pouring out. It was pouring out. And when that happened, I took all of that change that fell out of there, put it in a bucket, and I split. I hauled ass. I said, "That's it," because I never won anything in my life anyway. And when I won that, I said, "Hey, the first time I won anything," and I just put that money in a bucket. And I just cut out. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. So gambling can be a problem. That was Brian with the latest developments in today's world of sports. We lost him, but thanks, Brian. We'll catch Brian back here next week. Brian will be back here next week for Talk Back Live, which we'll tell you about later on before we go off the air. And we'll give you information about that. But he's here every week with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And again, if you have any sports question, I don't know what, maybe it was a technical thing on his part. I don't know. But he did get all the sports in. That's the whole thing. He got it all in there. That's the most important thing. And if you have any questions, you could continue to deliver those questions, and I'll deliver the questions, sport related questions to him. And when he comes back next week, we'll have the answers for you. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. I want to thank Thor coming out of Iceland. You see, we get watches from every place. Iceland, Thor from Iceland. just congratulate me for our new mayor here in New York City. And he says, he also backed up by saying, soon the morning coffee will be free. He didn't mention that. He thought he didn't mention that. We do have a new mayor coming up, a mayor elect, as a matter of fact. So January 1st he'll take his post. But no, he didn't mention anything about free coffee. That's a hell of an idea, though. That's something I'll write to him on that. Hey, how about a little free coffee in the morning? Give us something. Because when people wake up in the morning, um, they want that first jolt of the day. You know, some people want their first jolt of the day. Some people wake up out of bed in a grouchy mood. And they want their first jolt of the day. Whatever. No free coffee. I don't think that's. I think that's asking a little too much. Free coffee for New York. All New Yorkers free coffee. That's a little too much. That's a little too much. So Brian just left me a note here. He says uh, even stretched off tickets are dangerous too. Yeah. Scratch off tickets. Yeah. When you go play the lotto, which is legal, it's legal. People do that every week or every day. They go in there and buy the scratch offs. And some people can get addicted to that. You can get addicted to almost anything. We're all potential addictive to something, all of us, whether it's sugar, water, coffee, um, booze, all of that. All of us addicted to. Everyone has a Jones about something. We're all addicted to something. I don't know what it is. You know, I like my coffee. I'm not really addicted to coffee because there was a time when I used to drink in my cigarette smoking days. I used to smoke 3 packs a day and 5 cups of coffee a day. That's a lot of coffee, baby. That's a lot of coffee. So now I do this for the day and that's it. If I have a second cup of coffee, that may be happening with dinner or something. That's the highest I will go drinking coffee. My coffee consumption or two. It's the highest, and that's rare. 1 cup a day, and I'm done for the day. I'm good enough for the day. Anyway, we want to thank you guys for being with us on this day, on this Friday. And Friday, everybody looks forward to Friday, right? We all look forward to Friday because we know that Saturday is on the horizon. It's right there. It's waiting for us. Just there. It's all waiting for us. Okay. Let's say our little prayers, ladies and gentlemen. Please do that for me. We don't have to do it this instant, but sometime during the weekend, say a prayer for the civil rights leader activist Jesse Jackson, who was hospitalized on Wednesday in Chicago. Jackson is undergoing observation on progressive supranuclear palsy, which is known as PSP. And the disorder that he had, which is they call the neurodegenerative disorder, has been managed for more than a decade. He was managing it for more than a decade. Now, the civil rights activist was initially diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. However, he was diagnosed with PSP in April of this year. So again, that's our icon, our legend, Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's hospitalized. No, let's say a prayer for him, and it's hopefully that he'll be back on the straight and narrow, and he'll be back healthier and more sound. And so we keep our prayers open for him. Thank you so much for being along with us on this coffee hour. Sally Kirkland, the effervescent blonde actress who was nominated for the independent film, Oscar nominated for the independent film Anna in 1987, has died. Her representative, Michael Green, confirmed that Kirkland died early Tuesday morning in Palm Springs, California. She was put on hospice last week after suffering a fall in the shower in October that resulted into injuries to her ribs and foot. She had previously been diagnosed with bone infection that had also spread to her through her bloodstream. And of course, she also suffered with dementia. She was 84. TV news shows are often brought to you by sponsors, right? We already know that. Now, in this case, CNN, so too, it's actual news gathering as part of the bold ad deal. T-Mobile logo will turn up often on CNN's digital screen when CNN reporters and correspondents deliver their reportage from outside the studio and assign the telecom giants Nascent a supermobile service tailored for businesses, users, and the quick, reliable connection and privacy safeguards has helped establish the connection between journalists and audience. Vince Gill has been named this year's recipient of the Country Music Association's annual Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Awards, set to be bestowed during the 59 annual edition of the CMA Awards on November 19th. And prior to getting the trophy, you will be fatted for the special musical tribute featuring performances yet to be announced. The BBC report on Monday that U.S. President Donald Trump has sent a letter threatening legal action over the way that the speech that he had made that was edited in a documentary aired by the British broadcaster and two of the BBC's most senior executives reigned Sunday over the accusation of bias in the Panorama documentary editing of the speech that Donald made in January 6th of 2021. Remember that, before a crowd of his supporters stormed the Capitol building in Washington. Jennifer Garner's hit Apple TV mystery thriller series, which is called The Last Thing He Told Me, made its debut in 2023. Garner captivated fans as Hannah Hall, a woman who forms an unexpected relationship with a 16-year-old stepdaughter while searching for the truth about her husband, was mysteriously disappeared. And that year, she appeared in a handful of other projects like TV series Party Down and the Netflix film The Family Switch, reviving her role as Electra in 2024. And the 2024 Deadpool and Wolverine. And with no projects premiering in 2025, her return to the screen in 2026 is highly anticipated as The Last Thing He Told Me. That's the second season, and that will be slated for release on February 20th. Birthdays today. Actor Patrick Warburton, who's on Seinfeld, he's 61 today. Former U.S. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice is 71. King Charles III of the UK is 77. Actor, the late Brian Keith, would have been 104. The late Barbara Hutton, who had inherited the Woolworth fortune, would have been 113. Actress, the late Rosemary DeCamp, would have been 115. Singer, actor Dick Powell would have been 121. And singer Morton Downey would have been 124. And composer Aaron Copland would have been 125. Happy birthday to all who's celebrating and still alive and well. We wish you the best and many, many more. And of course, we're not going to forget the people who are no longer with us, as you already discovered. We want to wish them because they left us a great legacy. We will always remember them, and we will always acknowledge them each time their birthday comes around each year. So happy birthday. And if you're celebrating a birthday, you have one coming up, and you would like us to know about it, and you would like us to announce it, you can do that by getting in touch with us. We have an email address and a telephone number I will give to you gladly. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Please, you could use that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It's always open. It's always available to you. and you can use it anytime. And you don't have to use it just because you're having a birthday. You could use it for anything. If you have a community event that you want us to promote for you, we can do that. If you just want to just say hi, that would be great too, for any reason. All right. And keep all of the information in your electronic devices, such as your computer, be it laptop, desktop, maybe your tablet or your phone. And just in case one is not available, you always have them all. So you have all of those devices, put them in all of those devices. Okay. Let me give that email address again. It's frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641 715 3900, extension 467134. That's 641 715 3900, extension 467134. Happy day, oh, happy day. And thank God for it, because the U.S. government has reopened. You know that, right? If you haven't heard about that, you had your head buried in the sand, you were asleep or something, but they reopened. That's good news. That means that things are going to get back to normal, not all at once, a little bit at a time, because they got to get everybody back on the job, particularly the people who are flying to go out. The air traffic controllers will be back. All of the they don't call them stewardess anymore, but they call them the what do they call them? They call them the airline hostess or whatever they call them. Whatever, whatever. Everybody's going to be back on the job. All the government buildings are open. All of the Social Security checks, what they never really happened, they always came in. But good news for people who are collecting on SNAP. Okay, that's coming back. Some people received half of it for the month of November already. They already received half of it. Now, those of you who receive, and I researched this myself, those of you who received that half, you will probably get the other half at the tail end of this month. If not, you'll get it at the beginning of the brand new cycle, which will be the 1st of October or the beginning of October, or whenever you get them, right? That will be available for you. If you didn't get anything at all, again, at the end of November, or you'll get a double at the beginning of December. I said October somewhere along the line. I don't know why, but December would be the brand new month. So you'll be getting it in full. And thank God for that, because a lot of people are starving. They have to feed their children, and it's well needed for them. They need it, and they have to have it. And so now it's back. Okay. And we're happy about that. So the government is open again. It was signed, sealed, and delivered. And we hope that we don't have any problems like this. Should we have another threat of another shutdown, hopefully it doesn't have to come to this, because this is the longest shutdown that we had endured in years, the longest in history, as a matter of fact. Okay, so we're happy about that. We're happy for our representative. I'm trying to pronounce this. Adi Latah Grahava. And she's a representative. She was finally sworn in. I'm sorry, I couldn't pronounce that right, but you get it. You heard about the story. She was sworn in on Wednesday. And after 51 days, it took 51 days. After 50 days, 50 or 51 days, and now she is finally sworn in. And she's making Washington right now nervous, because now she had signed that for the petition to get the Epstein files out. And speaking of the Epstein files, you know that emails are coming out. The Taco Man is highly nervous now. He's highly nervous because, you know, as I said, I always use that phrase: what you put out, you get back. Karma is a bitch. Or you could say something like, whatever you reap what you sow. All right. And I think chickens are coming home to roost. There's another phrase right there. It's all happening. And I think we're going to see a lot of things. And for all of you guys who voted, and you voted for blue, whether you voted for blue or red, it doesn't matter. You voted. That was the most important thing. But blue looks good. They created a wave there. and we see that if they do what they did this past election day for the midterms, which will be next year, and they win it, it looks good for them. Now, Steve Bannon on the other side said this statement. I heard it myself, and I'm pretty sure you heard it too. He said in a statement that if they don't win the midterms, which is next year, or they don't win the 2028 election, some of them are going to jail, including himself. He said that. So he has sense enough to know that. There's a lot of things going on, but we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. And just because we're looking good right now, that don't mean you have to stop. The fight continues. As a matter of fact, you have to be more aggressive with the fight. You have to keep toiling. Don't rest. You never rest, especially on something like this, because we're talking about freedom and everything involved in that. Now, we already know that we talked about freedom and a freedom snatcher, such as the Pumpkinhead or the Taco Man or whatever you want to call him. Well, he has a new name now because remember when he was in Japan? Uh, when he was in Japan, he didn't know where he was going. The prime minister of Japan had to guide him through the halls, and he was like one of those robo-vacs. You ever see a robo-vac? When you place it on the floor, it cleans your floor, but it'll keep going until it bumps into an object and then goes another way. Well, that's what he looked like. So there's another nickname. Call him the robo-vac. You could also call him the dozing Don. Remember the dozing Don? First of all, there was a Sleepy Joe, but the guy that's called him Sleepy Joe is now a dozing Don. You've seen the picture, right? He's sleeping up there in a meeting, which happened, the press happened to be there too. And they caught those images of him sleeping in the meeting, and they ran with it. It's all over the internet now. And don't give me anything about jet lagging. I don't want to hear about jet lagging. I had jet lag. And I'm still, when you have jet lag, you can still be alert. So I don't want to hear anything about jet lagging. So he's dozing Don. And my favorite thing was the booze in Washington, D.C.
Please raise your right hands. I, and state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations. Congratulations.
That was funny. That was funny. A laugh, a laugh. A laugh is good for everyone. Okay, so forget about it. Hey, I got some movies for you, and I'm going to do this right quick. All right, because we're running out of time. I have 3 movies, and they're classic movies. The first movie is called The Setup. This is a good movie. You like boxing? This is a good movie to watch. And it stars Robert Ryan, Audrey Totter, and George Tobias. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can see that Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. You also have Cage back in 1950 with Eleanor Parker, Agnes Moorehead, and Ellen Corby. This is a classic movie. I love this movie. And you could see it, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 3 a.m. Eastern. That's late at night. But you could always record it if you still have your DVR box. And then you have The Birds, an Alfred Hitchcock movie from 1963. Rod Taylor, Tippi Hedren, and Jessica Tandy on Turner Classic Movies. And that's Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Go to Turner Classic Movies too and check out some movies that I may not have mentioned. You could add to your bucket list on what to watch. While you're there, you could also go on demand and watch some of the free movies, pay-per-view movies, and have sporting events, children's program. The whole 9 yards are right there. You can go and do that. That's a great thing to do. So I'm going to give you these movies once again. This is called The Setup. Robert Ryan, Audrey Tautou, and George Tobias as Turner Classic Movies at Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Then you also have Cage with Eleanor Parker, Agnes Moorehead, and Ellen Corby, Turner Classic Movies Sunday at 3 a.m. Eastern. I love that movie too. And The Birds with Rod Taylor, Tippi Hedren, and Jessica Tandy, Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. I hope you like these movies. They're fun movies to watch, and they're all classics. I want to remind you that since you're on watching us right now on Facebook, or better yet, watching us on YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, and even you Facebookers, go to my YouTube channel and right after the show and click on and subscribe to us. Really would appreciate that. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. My weekend is officially underway, and yours coming up just before you know it. I'm going to come back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. Brian Camper will be here with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And then you can come back here the following day, which will be next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern for the Coffee Hour. Brian Camp with Sports, me and you against the world. How about that? In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day and a great weekend, and I'll catch you back here soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.